internet whether Gunner was a stupid name for the son I was about to have, and on the third day of the comment thread I figured out who in my own family had been waiting for me to say it. I am 29. I am a third grade teacher in a small town in eastern Washington. My fiancé Patrick is 32, a long-haul truck driver. We were having a son in February. I am the daughter of Mexican immigrants who arrived in 1989. My name is Esmeralda. I went by Esme until I was 11, and a girl named Heather Schroeder told me Esme sounded like an old woman's cat. I have two younger brothers, Enrique and Alberto. When they were 9 and 7, an older boy at school told them they sounded like off-brand gay Ninja Turtles. Alberto cried in his bunk bed for 3 nights. Our mother, when I told her, was angry not at the boy but at us for being soft, and said, in Spanish, that the only way these names ever stop sounding wrong to white people is if you make them sound right yourself. When Patrick and I learned we were having a boy, I told him I wanted to give the baby a strong American name. I had a list. I had been keeping it since I was 20. The top name was Gunner. I told Patrick the name on a Saturday in June. Patrick looked at me for a long beat and said, gently, baby, that sounds like a dog's name. I cried for 40 minutes in the bathroom. I told him I had been thinking about the name for 9 years. I went on Reddit at 1 in the morning and posted in a baby name subreddit. I asked whether Gunner was an okay name. I added a paragraph about being a brown woman married to a white man and wanting my son to have a name that would not get him called an off-brand Ninja Turtle. I woke up to 2,000 comments. Most said no. I read every comment for 3 days. One of them, 300 comments deep, was from a user with the handle PrimoQueeb. The handle was the username my younger brother Alberto had used for fantasy football the season I tracked his bracket on my laptop in 2019. The comment said, honestly I feel for Op. Growing up, brown, in a white town does this to you. My older sister had it worst because she was the oldest. She's gonna name her kid something like Hunter or Tucker, and I don't blame her. I read the comment 6 times. I made coffee. I read it again. I went into my email and searched PrimoQueeb. The username was attached to a fantasy football confirmation email from 2019, attached to a Gmail address with Alberto's full name in it. I called Alberto. I did not start with the comment. I started with how he was, and how his girlfriend was, and how the new puppy was. Then I asked him, calmly, whether he had posted in the baby name subreddit about my baby. There was a long pause. Alberto said yes. Alberto said he had not meant for me to find it. I asked Alberto why he thought I was the one of us who had had it worst. Alberto was quiet. Then Alberto said, Esme, you used to come home from school in 3rd grade, and you would not eat dinner if mom made anything that smelled. You would say it would stick to your hair. You would wash your hair with 3 different shampoos before bed. You would cry if Enrique sang in Spanish in the kitchen, because you said the neighbors might hear. You don't remember any of this, because you were 9. I was 4. I remember. I sat at my kitchen table for a long time. I called Patrick on his run home from Spokane. I told him about the post. I told him about Alberto. I told him I had not understood, until that morning, that the name on my list had been on my list since I was a child, trying to make a different child's life easier than mine had been. Patrick said, gently, that he thought we should name the baby Samuel, after his father, who had died 11 months before we met. He said he had not wanted to push. He said his mother had asked him, twice, whether the name was on our list. I asked Patrick why he had never told me the name was on his. Patrick said he had been waiting to see what I would put down before he asked for what he wanted. I closed Reddit. I deleted the post. I did not delete the screenshot of Alberto's comment, which I had taken on the second morning and put in a folder on my laptop, labeled with the date. The folder has one item in it. The item is a paragraph my brother wrote about me at 1 in the morning, while I was asleep and pregnant, and trying to name a child I had not yet met, in a way that would protect him from the people who had not protected me. I read the comment once a week now. I do not read it for shame. I read it for memory. The baby's name is Samuel Enrique. Patrick agreed before I had finished the sentence. Enrique is asleep in a bouncer next to my desk as I write this. He is 12 weeks old. He has my hair and Patrick's eyes. Alberto has held him 3 times. Alberto cries every time. The folder will stay in the folder. I will tell Samuel Enrique about his uncle's comment when he is older. I will tell him in Spanish and in English, both at once, the way our family has always talked. The list of names from when I was 20 is in the kitchen drawer where I keep takeout menus. It is in the drawer for the next time I am about to write a name on a list for the wrong reason. I will know the reason now. I will recognize the handwriting.